that's absolutely the truth. If you survive this, I think you have to be looking at your name, because
I hate that
about you, if nothing else.
I hate that you used the phrase, you repeated back to me, if you survive this. You could have, as the DM said, when you survive this, but you didn't, and that breaks my heart.
Has that ever been the tone of my game, though?
Oh, well, you know.
Oh dear. I'm learning some things about myself recently in terms of my artistic production, but, let's see, Cass, you good to go as well? Very good. So, I believe that last we left our party, you had begun your frontal assault upon the final sanctum of the Rainfall. The Master's Domain, where currently the ritual will create a dread ring, a terrible necromantic power, which will strip all life from both the Rainfall and all of Thay above. You know that Terrelvar, Master of the Rainfall, and his apprentice, Thay, are currently in the process of leading a conclave of wizards in this vast necromantic ritual. The shortest route between the forward operating base and Far Realm Cysts belonging to the Thay of Resurrection, and the objective that the party seeks to thwart in the form of this ritual. Between those two locations stands the remainder of the Dread Legion, the military arm of Thay, led by the commander of the Doomvault's forces, Kargoth the Dread Fist. The vicious half-orc managed to repulse the party, and also escape the party's clutches during their last encounter. Yet, he managed to strip that room of much of its defenses, its wizards, some of its blackguards, and many of its Tanabuks lying dead, as well Alexander with a parting shot managing to disintegrate the dire troll. That Colossus having so recently fallen, Kargoth having so recently escaped your clutches, you find yourselves smoking, bleeding, as the teleportation circle clears its runic arc, and you find yourselves within the furor of the Far Realms Cysts here. As you look about, from armored guardians to other adventurers in the process of knitting their wounds and preparing for expeditions. What now, adventurers?
Is my mic working now?
Sure is.
Oh, okay, because it seems like no one could hear me before.
I'm barely on my own 2 feet at this point. I think that's true of all of us, but am I right in understanding you said that we do not appear in the gatehouse, but in the Far Realm Cysts?
Within the Far Realm Cysts, yes. I assumed that was the party's destination.
Yeah, if we can use the black portal.
But,
You certainly can.
Okay.
wherever it goes. Yeah, well,
That didn't go well.
no, it didn't. Actually, it went alright. We're still alive.
Yeah, that's true. We're still
We
standing.
whittled down some of those wizards, so it'll maybe be less bad the next time we go in.
Yeah, I mean, we can hope. They know we're coming though now.
Yeah.
we just
Well, it's not like we had prepped a good ambush before that first one anyway, so
I do have a slight correction to any future approaches we make.
Yeah, what's that?
Next time we walk into like 6 or 7 cliffs, let's just walk back.
teleported in, so we could exactly just undo that.
If we had the gate key with us, we could have just walked the other way, could we not?
Doesn't it
Yeah,
have
Am
a
I
way or
understanding how the
something?
gate keys work?
I don't.
You're probably right.
But I can't recall how they work exactly.
Call it a matter of ego, I suppose. Walking in, stepping on a couple of mines, and then walking away with our tails between our legs isn't exactly a very decisive way to convey your strength.
I mean-
just be a little more positive about it. You could think of it as hit and run tactics.
they hit us and then we run is the same as hit and run
No,
tactics.
we totally killed some wizards.
We did. You're right,
It was
Marianne.
a
You're right.
trade. The trade came out in our favor.
You can see
Somehow.
the intensity in Marianne's expression as the holy aura of the Tyrant Flame from her successful divine intervention begins to fade away from the party here. As that happens, you can each...
Looking at me,
As that happens, you can all feel the adrenaline beginning to fade from your bloodstreams. Your limbs beginning to shake with effort. You know that in your current condition, you are no match for the Dread Legion, at least not as it currently stands. What would you like to do?
They will probably avoid gatekeys if they're on that
Yeah. I mean, it's
Like they guild
it's-
officers or something.
I'm under the impression that that's not their priority. I mean, we are, of course, a nuisance. I don't know to what extent their egos allow them to see us as a genuine threat, but it's much more valuable to them that they keep the Dread Legion close at hand, keep us from penetrating any deeper. Because if that spell goes off, they win. If they push into unclaimed territory, they know that we have the Far Realm Cysts under our control, not just ours, but the rest of the Thay Resurrection. And if they push too far, they could end up getting cut off, losing more of their troops, and then be more unable to resist us if we regroup and re-challenge them. I think we'll be safe here.
Speaking of resurrection, seeing as we're not entirely sure whether they have those capabilities, perhaps we should hurry with getting ourselves recuperated. I presume you magic folk need a bit of a lot of assessment.
Well, that's something that's worth discussing. We have not expended all of our resources by any means. We will not be able to challenge the full might of the Dread Legion without our full spellcasting potential, by no means. But we've also
flying the other way.
that is another idea. I do want to, however, call out the elephant in the room, Argon. He is especially formidable.
I, for one, cannot wait to separate his head from his shoulders.
And it's like I used to call him my friend in school, but now that I'm a little more I guess older and more self-aware, I'm pretty sure he was actually bullying me.
That's very safe to assume. Something we might like to consider is the next time that we do face him. When we do get him on his back feet, let's try and subdue that rage of his. Usually, a good magical proverbial thunk on the head does the trick. So,
Yeah, I had
seemed to be shrugging off most of our blows whilst he was in that state.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, with
You did.
that weird like necromantic armor thing, like I'm not really doing how that
I had an idea in mind, but as usual, they managed to outpace us,
Yes.
and he managed to get away before I could stop him.
Let's have a round of insight checks here, as the party begins to consider Kargoth himself. If anyone isn't feeling comfortable with their insight, you're welcome to substitute a history check here.
Natural one.
No advantage, my bad.
I do it.
Alexander, I think that there is very likely a little bit of trauma block in your mind regarding Kargoth. the Red Fist.
I'm still processing the fact that I'm working with Robin as an ally. It's a little bit of cognitive dissonance in that, but they've proven themselves an ally to me. But can you really give up on all All those feelings. They have therapy in the Forgotten Lands.
They do.
I
The whole Church of Eldath is out there doing the Lord's work, basically. So
They have better help. Can I do like a sending based, like a telepathic
yeah.
therapy
would
session?
You want to roleplay that out? We can.
Maybe,
Fine. It's just during
gonna-
downtime. If you wanna conduct a series of sendings to a priestess of Eldath, that is more than reasonable.
I unironically, at some point, we're gonna have to do that. But I think I'd much rather opt for a full telepathy spell so that we can. Nothing feels worse during therapy than saying, "Well, that's our time."
That's our
that's
our 25 words. That's our tweet.
That's our 25 words. That's gonna be $200. Bye.
Oh my god. Very well said. Yeah, 25 gold, 20
yeah.
Very well said. So, as the party considers Kargoth here, let's go one by one in ascending order. A 12 is not terrible, Alexander. What aspects, if any, are you considering regarding Kargoth and your encounter with him?
In particular, I suppose, since I'm reflecting on history, I would like a sense of how long this man might have been in charge of the Dread Legion, and thereby get a sort of sense of his military prowess. Obviously, he's quite skilled in battle, but as a commander, the sorts of people he might have it in good with, or what he might be getting out of this.
With the 12, I don't think I can give you anything specific to Kargoth's life, but I can give you some information that you, as a child of Thay, would know about the nature of magical versus martial might in Thay. You know, of course, with the 12, that the ethos in Thay is one of magical supremacy. You know that means that there are going to be two things that are true about anyone who is given the role that Kargoth has. That he has trained his flesh to the point of being more valuable alive than it is dead. And that is a rare thing in Thay. Because particularly, in order for flesh to be more valuable alive than it is dead, it also needs to be obedient. Yes? So even with the 12, you know Kargoth is a zealot. He believes in what he is doing. Probably very much like, and as you think of that mindset, probably very much like many Thayans who willingly accept their own destruction as long as it is at the hand of some more brilliant apprentice. You suspect that the reason that Kargoth's name does not ring in your ears as familiar is because the leader of the Dread Legions is very much likely always a person like Kargoth. Violent, brutal, unquestioningly loyal to their cause. You think of a person like Kargoth, the violence is the point of his activity. Additionally, the last thing I'll give you with 12 is that you know that any person who would be given the reins by a group of wizards, they're going to be able to appreciate how magic works. He might be a meathead, but you've seen how he uses his potions. You've seen how he used his magic items, the way he understood the nature of counterspell and waited for you to use your reaction before dimension dooring. The way that he waited for the bloodied condition before using his potions. You get the sense that this is a man who would not have survived within the magocracy without having a deep appreciation of maybe not the nature of magic, but the ways magic can be employed himself. So probably more of a wisdom than an intelligence-based character, but probably has used that wisdom to really hone in on how mages work. And Alexander, with that, I'm going to say that you realize that he probably has the Mage Hunter feat.
Robin would definitely have the Mage Hunter feat if it wasn't almost entirely useless for ranged characters.
Okay.
Dorgil has it.
Oh, I love to hear that. Okay. Yeah, I will be ruminating. I'm I'm quiet. I have been for some time, as the campaign has worn on and the toll of continued battle has started to fall upon me. So, as we all kind of lick our wounds, I just busy myself with meditation. I stay nearby, but sort of start reading my book, pulling little lines of text off of the tattoos on my body, sending them to Hover, and just kind of, my brow is very furrowed as I just try to calculate how better to handle Kargoth the next time around.
Very good. In that case, as Alexander begins to retreat to his meditations, let's go ahead to Marianne. Marianne with a 20. What is it that you're focusing in here on regarding your encounter with Kargoth?
Yeah, because it's insight. I thought it's like, what does she know about his character? Because he's like one of those. It's like one of those guys from college almost. You know, like the Bayna equivalent of one of those guys in college who you used to peripherally be around, quote unquote friends, but you know, you never talk to those people again. In fact, fuck them. You know, it was terrible. So like, out of the just the stuff that he says, like, what does she feel like distinguishes him from every other Baynite?
That distinguishes him from every other what? Baynite?
Yeah, every other Baynite, because brutality and violence
there is an irony. I'll tell you this immediately. The thing that you catch on is there is an irony to all of his statements. Marianne, something especially that a person like yourself who has come to the Church of Bane from a place of deep-seated fear and deep-seated protection, I think that you would recognize this kind of person immediately. He relishes in violence. He relishes in the tyranny. The tyranny is not a means to an end for him. The tyranny is the point. The violence is the point, and for that reason, you know that he is probably very short-sighted. The fact that he is short-sighted and does not see beyond his immediate capacities for violence is something that your party should be able to exploit. You know that if Kargoth sees weakness, if he sees an opportunity to action surge on your mage, if he sees an opportunity to action surge on your priest, he will run through fire to take it, because he is so convinced in his own power and so convinced in the truth of his own power. You know that the best way, Marianne, with the 20 insight, because you've defeated people like this in the past, the best way to defeat a person like this is to make them overconfident. Is to demonstrate a weakness that does not truly exist.
I just think it's really funny that this, because I've never looked at the module, but this guy's description as like one of those Baynites who is really just there for
he doesn't
the
exist in the module.
And he's like, oh, I see how it is. He just made this up because of... Okay, I see how it is. Too convenient.
So, Marianne, that's the general nature of what you would get with 20 about Kargoth. Additionally, building off, because you guys would be discussing this stuff together, right?
Yeah.
I thought we were
I would
having
imagine
a
so,
quiet,
yes.
Yeah, no, I assume. So,
quiet sit down.
additionally, what you would build off of 20, off of Alex, is that he probably respects magic a little bit less and a little bit more than he should at alternate ways. He probably, it's like this. He probably thinks that the magic he's equipped with makes him invulnerable. But simultaneously, he also probably thinks that the magic that you guys have is always going to be something he can overcome. He's probably always going to think of his own attacks as, executioner strikes, but is always going to shrug off Robin's blows. That's just the way that person's been built and the way that their mentality works. That's something easily exploitable by your group. So, that's what you get with a 20 Marianne. Thorgil, you fought hand in hand with this man several times. You also saw the way that he commanded that tide of Tanarooks that threatened to overwhelm you. What is it that you were looking for?
As a commander himself, Torgil will be just as he's sharpening his greatsword, which all of you would know is pointless for a magical weapon. It needs no regular maintaining. But whilst he's doing that, he will just be pondering on the battle tactics of the opposing commander and the best counter strategies to employ.
Okay. So, as you think of the way in which he commanded the Tatarus, you do not think that there's any respect for his troops. They're cannon fodder, and more than that, he thinks of them as useless cannon fodder. You get the sense that if it were up to Kargoth, he would use these creatures as training dummies in the intervening hours between scrapping it out with your party. You get the sense from what you saw, Kargoth. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, that's what he did with Marianne in college, and Marianne thought it was strength training, but maybe in hindsight it was not training.
Oh dear. It's called hazing. That's what. Anyway.
It's called hazing or bullying or I don't know, battery.
So, what you would note, Thorgil, is Kargoth's appreciation for his rank and file is approaching zero. He will douse them in oil and tell someone to cast fireball on them if he thinks it'll kill one of you. That said, conversely, his respect for his spellcasters is great. And if it comes down to it, he will protect them. Furthermore, you get the sense that he will give his life willingly as long as he thinks that there is a reasonable shot at resurrection. Anything else that you would be trying to pick out there with the 25?
Not in particular, no. I think that would be mostly what Thorgil was focusing on.
Robin, with the 27, what are you trying to pick out?
So Robin has some admittedly long past history, but has some history with Kargoth, and Robin's trying to see, of the young, uncertain, and scared child that he once plucked off the streets, what is still left in the mentality of Kargoth?
Fantastic question. So when you took Kargoth off the streets, he was running a street gang at the age of 10 years old as a half-orc child, which 10 years old, most half-orc children have progressed the majority of the way through adolescence. This is a very short-lived race, and they grow up very fast. What you saw of Kargoth is that he was abusing physically and in potentially multiple ways physically the group of similarly aged humans and half-elves that you took him from. In particular, what you know about Kargoth is that he has a preference for hurting people who are physically larger than he is. He has a preference for hurting anyone that he thinks of as a threat, whether that's magically or whether that's indomitably. You know from what you saw of him that this guy is really fundamentally a follower. That all of the violence inside of him is inherited. And because of that, Robin, you realize something very, very, very true about abused children. children, which is that they never grow out of their fear. And with the 27, you realize that what you really need to do to break Kargoth is make him realize that he never was in control to begin with. That he never left the streets, and that you can take him anywhere you want still, even at this day. Robin, I think you begin to feel a pulse of adrenaline course through you, chosen of Malar that you are. You realize that if you want to hunt Kargoth, you just need to make him realize that he is still a child in the streets of Thay, who does not understand the workings of the wizards above him. And as you look toward Alexander Kryl, another child that you have taken,
been given.
you think that he could be a useful tool in that endeavor. There's a way to break that psyche. And with a 27 insight, not quite a 30, but with a 27 insight, you can feel the inroads.
So Alex, my good
Yeah, I
old
look up from my book.
fool.
Your good old what now?
Sorry,
No,
let me
out of character.
let me ask a quick question, sorry, before we go on into character. Are we short resting? Are we long resting? What's the plan in terms of time right now?
Because
I think
so much magic in that excursion that was like more intense than like the rest of the dungeon.
If we still have some left, it might be useful to start clearing a path towards the alternative entrance.
right.
I could live off of a short rest, but
I
Hellcasters may not.
with a short rest, I would be able to recuperate somewhat. My most powerful spells are spent, but I would be able to do some, if not all, of what needs to be done. I don't know. I just we've pushed Kargoth. We've pushed him. Not all the way to the edge, but even someone like him must feel fatigue. He escaped, yes, but his fatigue will only disappear if we give him time to let it happen. I just wish I had a better idea of how we could exploit it.
As the party stands here, probably, maybe as the candle is extinguished, maybe as the flame continues to beckon over you, you know that in addition to a short or a long rest, you could just rely on Marianne's ability to recuperate your wounds. You could press right back in, if that's what you think is wise.
I did throw that out as an option last week.
Yeah.
We do have the option of
Well,
just quickly recovering our wounds and rushing back in when they don't expect it.
it's like, hang on, I'm pretty exhausted. Like, we won't be able to rely on any of my higher level magic whatsoever. I'm very scared. The candle is keeping me going, but more than that, I don't have much left. So,
It's right, which is certainly a problem. Though I look at Riker, and I know that Mike isn't here, but I would casually acknowledge that Riker escaped the skirmish with much of him. You know, he took a beating, but much of his magical abilities are very much intact. And if we need a healer, that for a combat healer, that would be an option.
Mike
We don't
will
need-
probably let you know that he has used all his lay on hands wounds.
He has, but he has 4th, 3rd, and 2nd level slots.
Yeah.
And Look, that's basically my job, right? You bring me to the guy. I'll smite him. Now, what I'm looking at here is Kargoth isn't the guy. He's gonna look toward you, Alex, and say, "We look through that crystal ball, right? Is Faya the guy? Is Terulvar the guy? I don't understand all of this. I'm relying on you, Alex. He looks toward Mary. I'm relying on you, Marianne. I'm relying on you, Robin. Thorgil, you're a great guy, but I don't think you know much about this. I'm relying on our three arcanists, and respectively our Thay in here, to tell me, how do we fix this? Because, I get it, we have a battle in front of us, but that's not what this is about, right? I don't understand how this magic works, but the magic's the real problem here, right? I think we have 10 days for that, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, and we already burned half of them.
Right, so...
Have we?
Yeah.
Hold on. When
We-
did we spend 5 days?
Yeah, when did we spend 5? I don't remember.
At least... It was at least... Let's see.
At least a couple.
It would be... I'd have to be...
Session?
Yeah, the downtime session was minimum 4 days, because
The downtime
both
session
me
was 4
and...
days,
Me and Thorgil both spent 12 hours a day reading our Tome of Clear Thought and Manual of Health, respectively.
The stuff that y'all were doing.
So what happened with it was 4 days. You guys have about 5 days left from what Darlin Ma and from what Serana have told you regarding the ritual and their own projections. Like they've said, they don't have certainties, but they have projections, right? Which is to say, they think the ritual will conclude in about another 5 days based upon the trajectory of the magical radiation that's been emanating from the Master's domain, readable from the far-ground cysts. With that in mind, you could probably get more precise information by taking readings closer to the actual ritual site. Perhaps if you can clear out the encampment that the Dread Legion currently has. Also, oh yeah, the reason I know we have 5 days is because I congratulated you guys when you concluded your downtime within 4 days. And then pushed into the new plan.
I'm gonna walk over to Robin, and I'm just gonna kind of stand at an arm's length and look right into your eyes. And I'm gonna say, Kargoth, we need... I don't think we can beat him on even footing. I don't think
See-
that's how we tackle this problem.
That's where I think you're wrong. We're licking our wounds right now. Kargoth, though he's not as physically spent perhaps, and that little physical spending he has done, he's probably recuperating as we speak. I believe that mentally, if we show up again now, like within the next few minutes, we bust down that door and surprise, perhaps catch them as they're setting up new defenses for our next arrival.
Oh my god.
That blow, that's not something you can measure in wounds or cuts or arrows put into someone. That's a measure of uncertainty that only comes from someone knowing that they're being hunted.
You can see the glint within Robin's eye here, Alex. You have been hunted before, and you know it to be true.
I am quiet for a moment. My eyes flicker back and forth as if I'm reading something, but staring off in the middle distance, just kind of processing thoughts. And I look down at my blood-stained robes and the bruises on my hands and the calluses where I've been gripping the staff of fire. And I take a step closer and I say, maybe that surprise would be enough. maybe it would be better. Maybe it would be better to go a little further. I'm going to slowly reach out, and I'm going to try and put my hand on your quiver. And I pull out an arrow, kind of like toy with it in my fingers. And then I hold it out, and I jam it into my shoulder. And I kind of grunt as I do as blood starts to come out. And I say, we need him to think that he has us beat. I think maybe we were beaten. Maybe he did what he set out to do. Maybe he got some of us to realize that this fight wasn't worth fighting. Maybe a trade is something that would be more amenable to him. And I push it in a little deeper. And I kind of hold out my hands. Take me in.
I'm going to need more of an explanation here.
Bring me to him. You took me once before. Take me again. We don't bring Riker. Just bring Marianne. Maybe she can appeal. Maybe she talked you into it. Maybe it was realized that this was a futile effort. Maybe you want to be on the side of the winners in this situation. Offer me up. Offer me.
Marianne's like, I can't reason with him.
I'm not asking you to reason with him. I'm asking you to give him what he wants.
What is the end goal of this plan?
Draw him out. Isolate him. Isolate him from his group. I've got just enough juice left in me that I could throw up a wall of force. I could pin him with us. All we need to do is get him close enough.
And yet you would have me wait here while you went
Not
in with the cleric. Archer.
I understand the idea that you're going for. And there's definitely a good sense of we can bait him in. I'm not necessarily doubting that so much. It's just that if we let him get closer, that's precisely where he wants to be.
Yeah, he seems to prefer melee. He hits hard. We have to
I'm not suggesting that you all go in. I'm not suggesting that you all go in beaten and bruised. I'm suggesting that you bring me in beaten and bruised.
And then what do we do when you go down?
I
When
don't.
the wall you've put up falters.
I admit it's a half-baked plan, but that's why I'm bringing it to all of you. There might be a way to make this work. I could teleport myself away onto the other side of the wall, leaving him inside with all of you, with Thorgil. Getting Thorgil in would be a challenge, but I mean, if I've got a portable hole, drop him inside. I think once he realizes he's trapped, maybe he might start to misstep. Even keep Riker in there as well. Riker and Thorgil. And then once I've got him isolated, I mean...
Oh, the hole full of ass beating?
Alex, make me a retroactive perception check.
12.
Fair. Make me an Arcana check at disadvantage.
Cancels my usual advantage. Oop. Okay, to be the first one.
Alright, 25. Homeboy pulled every potion that he took with the exact same motion from underneath his cloak. Kargoth used every consumable. It looked as though he was fishing in the same spot, like a Looney Tunes character, for hammer space. With 25,
Bag of holding.
if he has a bag of holding and you have a portable hole, things could get very interesting very fast, depending on how the two of you choose to play that.
Oh my god.
There are many DMs that would have waited until we were at the precipice, but nah, you know what those things look like.
Yeah,
Wow.
As you consider that out, Kargoth being able to toss you into the astral plane, is that good or bad for your group? If y'all all go together.
I mean, he would come with the issue.
I have a robe of stars.
Does that mean you can plane shift?
It means I can do it for myself.
Personally.
If I can get him close enough to me that I can shove my portable hole inside of his bag of holding, it would suck us both into the astral sea, and I might be able to, if I can survive long enough, if I can survive one round, I could just pop myself back and leave him. I've got a potion. I have a potion of invulnerability right here.
Alexander, do you perhaps think these will be of any use? Almost forgotten about them. I put them off in prison 7 weeks ago. I will toss you a very small pouch that kind of rattles when you touch it. And inside it has 8 beads of force.
Beads of force. Oh, those protect you, right? Oh.
Honestly, I had forgotten about them. I haven't been inspected by a spellcaster.
Thinking about it, I mean, I have a bag of holding as well. I mean, I'd have to go and pick it up really quick, but... I mean... It'd be a lot easier to shove a bag of holding into a bag of holding than a portable hole into a bag of holding. Oh my god, that's an idea. I mean... you said beads of force, they put a protective shield force around me, but I wouldn't be able to interact with him if I used it. I mean, what are you all thinking about this idea? It's kind of crazy.
I'm liking it more and more.
I really like it. I feel like that's
We could
the direction.
deposit him on the astral plane.
Most of this plan is going over my head, if I'm being honest.
We could deposit him on the astral plane. Of course, if anybody, if the wizards tried to find him, they could go there and retrieve him.
How would they know?
Yeah, but how would we know where to find him?
Telepathic.
trying.
No. I'll settle that. You guys should almost definitively assume that there is some means of communication between Kargoth and the Red Wizards. There's gotta be.
Also,
But is it interplanar communication?
Yeah, like not all of
It
them.
has to be because there's a planar barrier that separates the White Gate to the north. There has to be either regular communications or something. You guys want to roll an Arcana check, DC 35 to figure that out? You're more than welcome to.
Oh my god, I just had. Okay.
I got you.
do it. I have a crazy fucking idea, though. You got me.
I got a 9 for you, Ben.
I appreciate it.
I was just thinking the sending spell.
Like the guidance.
Sending doesn't work cross planes, does it?
Sure does.
It can, but I believe if you send it across planes, then it has like 5% chance of like disappearing into nothing.
Yep.
Oh my god.
So,
Oh my god, this is insane.
what if we all go to the astral plane?
How do we do that?
The same way that you would go there with him. We simply all go into
We're
that.
gonna jump him and we're gonna kick his ass in the astral plane. And come.
You wanted to isolate him with a wall of force? Isolating him in a different dimension is a new level.
We'll scare the hell out of
Well,
him.
wait a minute. That could work. I mean, if I keep the portable holes with me, and I use the bag of holding to open the portal, once we're in the astral plane, I'd still have the portable hole. You could all just swim on inside. I'll scoop you up like a fishing net. I can come back to the material plane and let you all out.
Okay, so what do you need to pull this off?
I need my
Aside
portable hole.
from the bait.
I need my portable hole. I need a bag of holding. I've got my cloak of stars. And we'd need the bait. We'd need probably a way to immobilize him just long enough that I can go on in there. I mean, if there was a way, for example, to have I don't know if any of us are capable of casting invisibility. I have no notion of whether Kargoth is able to see invisible creatures, but if we can get him this offering me as a trade, spend just long enough to lick our wounds for Marianne to heal us, bring me in as an offering of trade with everyone, and just throw me on the ground, right? And I need to see how big will that portal be? Any creature within 10 feet. So you'd all need to be within 10 feet of me. What
happens to the hole?
The portable hole?
Yes.
If I don't use it to open the portal, I would keep it with me, presumably. I have a bag of holding. If you place one bag into another, it'll open the portal. Once we're on the astral sea, the problem then is that I can only retrieve myself. I can only transport myself. You would all be stranded there, even if we do overpower and destroy Kargoth. But
I mean, in the shifting of the planes, is the portable hole consumed, so to speak? What happens to its contents?
Oh, the portable hole. No, the portable hole, as long as the portable hole doesn't get placed inside the bag of holding, it should suffer no ill effects, I would think. Can I roll Arcana to be sure of that?
I mean, in what scenario are you describing this? I thought we were talking about placing a bag of holding inside a portable hole.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
I was thinking vice versa. I was thinking trying to shove a bag of holding into his bag.
Placing a bag of holding inside an extra-dimensional space, created by an extra-dimensional space, destroys both items and opens a gate to the astral plane.
That's what I thought. So,
yes.
God, Robin wouldn't really know that much is the issue.
So, the question you guys are
But
asking,
Alex would probably.
in terms of Arcana, go ahead and roll an Arcana check, DC 35. What happens to the objects? There are some things that should be confusing. What happens to the objects inside of a bag of holding when this happens? 27. You know that objects are scattered across the multiverse. You don't know what happens to creatures, however. Creatures and objects being different categories from a magio-scientific perspective, you have some doubt as to whether creatures would be scattered across the universe, destroyed, or teleported as a group to a certain place.
I don't like the uncertainty of that. Robin, what would you call the odds if I told you that there are 3 ways this could turn out? And I explained the 3 ways.
You want me to put numbers on those odds or what?
Oh. Let me think.
Something in my gut tells me this plan is ill-advised.
If it works the same way for creatures as it does for people, then the option of it taking members of our party and sending them across the universe is not worth it. I do not think
Okay.
Kargoth is worth man-to-man as much as any of us in this group. Never mind 2 or 3 of us.
That's a very bold statement from Robin, but as you look into Robin's eyes, all of you are convinced of the truth of that statement.
Right.
Kargoth
is
a force to be reckoned with, but Kargoth is not a mind, and Kargoth is not a personality in the way that any of you are.
Let me... Marianne, we're spending time deliberating, and that time could be valuable. Would you be willing to start your candle healing while I prepare a ritual? I might be able to get a more satisfying answer to the question of whether what will happen to creatures in this situation. I can cast
Before we
contact
start-
on the plane.
Okay, that makes sense.
There's a consideration we need to do. Do we want
Sure.
to take a short rest here? Or do we just want to heal up with the candle and go in? Because if we rest, they rest.
Right. I don't think.
I mean, I figured we just use the candle because, yeah, I don't really see a need for a short rest. It doesn't really help me to short rest that much.
What were you
I
going to say,
am
Thorgil?
I am much in need of a short break. I have expended power of my runes
Oh, okay.
and pushed my body beyond its limits in the past half hour.
Okay.
With the insight check that you guys have, I'm going to tell you guys just in terms of the way that short rests break down for this party. Kargoth is going to get back his action surges. He's going to get back his second wind. He's going to get back his adrenaline rushes.
The adrenaline rush is limited resource.
Thorgil, I think you get back all your runes, your action surge, and your second wind, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's
That is the trade.
a short rest for Thorgil is potentially huge.
Yeah.
That's
Redirecting those attacks is
some-
also like
something all of you guys realize naturally though is that like Kargoth, the way he's been fighting, has not shown you all his resources yet.
Yeah, for sure. He seems like he still has more. He doesn't have that. He doesn't look desperate. He didn't seem to have any kind of desperation at all. Like
he ran away.
he's still
Right.
good.
He did run away. I think in any case, whether we take a short or long rest, before we make that final decision, it'll only take me a minute to contact the sage.
Preserving the
Oh, my bad. But I do want I do want to spend a minute. I have not accelerated the ritual today, so I'm going to use the 1 minute casting time of Contact Other Plane. I will be able to ask 3 questions, I believe. 5 questions to the sage. If there are any questions, it is unlikely they'll be able to shed much light on Kargoth or Baya or any of them, but any questions beyond that that might be helpful, I will gladly take them.
Yeah, you can't fail a DC 15 intelligence saving throw, I don't think.
I have a 1 in 20 chance. Let me see, do I have resistance? No, I prepared guidance.
But you can fail a DC 24 intelligence saving throw, right?
Yeah, why?
Very good. If you are inquiring about things that are within the Doom Vault, then that's what I'm going to need from you.
Got it. I want to do that.
I could inspire you.
I have inspiration. A little bit of extra support wouldn't hurt. I don't know. Well, you know what? I will ask Riker if he would be so kind as to bless me.
That doesn't. Oh wait, where did you say it was?
Yeah.
Marianne, do you have resistance
Yeah.
script?
Oh,
Do you have the
resistance?
resistance?
Yes, I do.
Oh, well, that would be very helpful as well.
There.
Okay.
Draw some little evil day night pentagram with her fingers on you.
Oh,
like,
good.
I
My
have
hair's
blade
undone.
form, correct?
Oh, perfect. I'll need that too. Gosh, you remind me a lot of Leo. I'm gonna yeah. Let's give it a try. I'll pop my inspiration. I'll take resistance, and I'll invite anyone who wishes to join me to sit around in a little circle as I call upon the sages of the endless library of the history of the world. And I'm gonna hope to God I don't fuck it up. Okay, 32.
Marianne's hoping to bang that you don't fuck it up.
It's not even with the D4. Jesus Christ.
Very good.
You know what? Let me take it.
Who do you propitiate?
36. No biggie.
Who do you propitiate in that case?
With a 36?
No. Who is your prayer targeted toward?
Normally, I target my prayer towards just towards a sage, perhaps a particular past member of the Order of the Scribes, a Grand Master, one of the first of the Order, something like that. But this is a situation where we're in trouble. I don't know if I would be able to propitiate. I know I can't, with contact of the flame, contact a true god.
No, yeah, no, totally. But would you like that, or would you like a 36?
36.
Alright. As your mind begins to cast out into the universe, suddenly you find yourself looking at the night sky. The constellations of the darkness above you, above Thay, so perfectly positioned. They are just as the cosmology of the Great Wheel, glittering in the sky above you. They are just as the world seen from the side. They are just as the Ioun stones that circulate above the mind of the creature that you currently occupy. For a brief moment, Alexander, you realize yourself to be just a thought, entertained by an entity far beyond yourself. And you hear the voice say, I have been waiting for you to divest yourself of divinity. Without fate intervening between us, we may speak. Alexander Cryle, I have a deep interest in your ambitions, as do others. Ask what you will, and I will answer as truthfully as I may.
I look around. Are my friends with me? The ones I had them in my hands. Are they gone?
You find yourself sitting within your father's study. It's very strange, Alex. You find yourself occupying your father's seat, looking down at a diary full of gibberish. It looks like Thayan, but written in a hand so frantic that you cannot interpret it. You hear your own voice as a child questioning your father from the merging with the deathless echo that resonates in your head. Does that make sense?
I have not divested myself of divinity. Now, as always, I seek the downfall of Thay. I seek the downfall of the mediocracy that would take knowledge out of the hands of the many and keep it for the few. I am. Who are you?
This lifetime, we have not yet spoken. If I recall, Riker and Leon, did they fail to mention any of their interaction with Larlock, the entity that rescued them from the diamond skulled demi-lich that threatened to slay them?
In character, I don't recall an interaction.
Yes,
I know exactly who I'm talking to. I know exactly what's happening, but I don't know if Alex does.
In that case, Alex, there is a brief pulse of gnosis with which washes through your mind as you see the entire interaction between yourself, between Larlock and your party. The interaction between your party and yourself. For a brief moment, you feel these lives beneath your gaze like neurons firing all too slowly.
You are the Shadow King. You still live. Or unlive.
An epithet. A mispronunciation. Yes. What I question, though, is whether you still live. Though you have sought information you shall have. It is only reasonable. An act of spellcraft, such as you have displayed, should be respected.
We seek to stop the Thayans from completing their ritual. A powerful paladin stands in our way, a Templar of Bane. We had thoughts to perhaps isolate him, to drag him into the Astral Sea, and deal with him free from interruption by his soldiers. I just do not understand sufficiently the workings of extra-dimensional spaces. I had thought perhaps I could seek answers. Perhaps if some of us were lying in wait, sheltered away in a portable hole, and that extra-dimensional space were to intersect another one held by the Paladin, what would become of the hidden warriors, those who were waiting for the ambush? Would they be destroyed, or would they be scattered? Would they be brought along?
An experiment I would not have expected you to conduct. You value flesh, and that itself is admirable. You should expect them to be scattered to inhospitable plains, their fates their own, even beyond your powers of scrying, scribe.
Then, what if they were not to lie in wait in an extra-dimensional space? If two spaces were to intersect, and a third were within the range of the pairing of the veil that pulls myself and and others through to the astral sea, would that third extra-dimensional space be destroyed as well?
One would be drawn into the other. In a cycle, you would create dimensionality. Instead of 3, there would be 4. Instead of 4, there would be 5. Instead of 5, there would be 6. You would face the consequences of dwelling upon infinity, just as I have, young wizard.
In that case, maybe that's not the right approach. Damn, I had wished that my friends would be here. I fear I did not prepare enough questions. I don't know what more I could possibly ask. I have faced these wizards in time and again. I have been foiled.
In that case, you can see the skull look into you as the iron stones, as the entire universe ceases to circulate for a moment. It would be simple, yes? A single word. Death or fealty, young wizard. If you cannot speak for them, then you will never speak either of those words. And you begin to feel your own party members. How many times have you held them in your palms? How many times have they held you in theirs? Surely, Alexander, you can speak for the people that you have traveled with. Surely, you can roleplay a little bit with this lich.
God, I'm not ready.
He snaps his finger and you feel your flesh begin to melt from you. For a brief moment, you consider all the companions you've traveled with, not just the ones you currently travel with. Who is closest?
Glory and Bones.
Who's closest to your heart? As you see
Glory
the
and
flash
Bones.
before you, which one?
Which one? Which one? I can't make a choice one over the other. I'm going to save them both. Mark my words, I am going to save them both.
I know you will. I know you will. The deathless voice rattles. But which one first? Breathe. The words of the spell, each one is equally important. The first as important as the last. Which one comes first?
Bones had lived an entire life before I met him. Try as I might, I was never able to truly understand his nature. He was not alive, not undead. He told me stories of very dark places. Flesh he wore before the bones that gave him his name came into my life. But Lori, she was innocent in all of this. She would never have gone to these lengths if I hadn't asked her for her aid. She deserves another chance.
You consider that the moments that you asked her, the moments that you pressed her, the moments that your need was so apparent, when she was tinkering upon her creations, considering the world beyond, evaluating the resonance of her frog's croak. What is it you said to her that bound her to you? What is it that killed her?
What is it that killed her? What is it that bound her to me? I remember. I remember when I first met her. She's a little bit suspicious at first. I don't know exactly when it was that suspicion faded away. Maybe it never did. But I remember after we left the Moonshades, after we had routed the forces of Thay that had begun to conduct experiments there, I asked her if she wanted to go back to her family. Quite a large one. She has many across the realms, many across Faerun, who share the Horcus Porcus name. But she said she might have. She said she had wanted it, that she had thought about it, but she said she changed her mind. She said that she didn't want to leave. She didn't want to leave Bones. She didn't want to leave me. I really think that I found a family with her. Maybe that's what killed her. The moment she chose to make me her family. Death does seem to follow me.
You see the face of the skull look directly into your eyes, boring into your mind, saying, yes, death follows some of us more strongly than others. What about the rest?
It'll get them eventually, I guess. Shh. He followed me. Bones never questioned. He would never question. Anytime I needed him, he was there. Even Riker and Leon. Riker and I. I've always felt like I'd seen his face before, but it really felt like meeting someone new. But I've never felt a moment where he was anything but loyal. Leon gave his life for us. Now Marianne and Thorgil and Robin. Robin. Of all the faces I could see coming to my aid, I did not expect it to be him. They continue to surprise me. And yet there they stand. At any moment, they could just walk away, and yet they don't. I guess, in a sort of way, fealty and death are not so unconnected. Those who know true fealty are unafraid of death, and those who are unafraid of death can show true fealty.
You see the skull stare at you as the many stars circulate around its head. You know that the conversation has begun to draw to a conclusion. What final question do you have for this entity?
Final question. I look at him, I suppose, into the sockets of his ageless, gilded skull. I've seen this. I've seen this before. I've seen power seized in Thay. I was there. I was young, but I was there. I lived years in Thay. If we conquer Kargoth, we'll need to face Faya. If we conquer Faya, we'll have to face Bar. And if we conquer him, we may very well have to face Saztem. And if we move beyond that, this is not a question of knowledge, but a question of perspective, which I suppose, if there is anyone with perspective, it must be you.
The skull blinks
there a future for Thay? One that is not so oppressive, one that is not under the thumb of tyranny? Is it a future that we can make real?
For Thay, there is no future as long as wizards cling to magic. For Faerun, there is no future as long as wizards cling to magic. You see the skull growing larger as it speaks. For the very multiverse itself, there is no future as long as wizards cling to magic. Alexander Kryl, how will you divest them of their need? You find yourself choked by that question as the spell ends, and you awake within the grip of your companion's bond.
You ever seen someone cry where there's no sobbing, there's no heaving, it's just like rivers of tears, but unblinking eyes? And I just crumple for a moment.
I was gonna say, Marianne, as soon as you like came back to consciousness, kind of like stopped praying, and it's just the shoulder to cry on now.
And I choke out. How do we divest the red wizards of their need for magic? How do we divest this world of its need for magic? This world is magic. It is
Marianne,
magic.
Robin, Thorgil, make an insight check.
What the heck?
Woo! Yes,
Oh,
Robin. Yum yum yum.
Yes. Perfect. Robin. Here he is, a wizard gibbering under the weight of prophecy. How do you divest them from their magic? Find it, whatever they worship, whatever they listen to, and kill it. You think of your own God. You think of your own servitude. You think of your own companions, and all of a sudden they merge. Nothing but a task, nothing but a logos, nothing but a continual bond of language, uniting the nonsensical, uniting urges that have nothing to do with each other into a chain of memories. You understand, Robin. All you have to do with your bright eyes is slay every Zulkir of Thay. Slay every wizard that challenges them. Slay every god. And slay every ally. And you will have perfect peace within this universe. And as you grip your bow for a brief moment, you know that that is a possibility should you seek it out.
Alex, I think you're looking too far ahead. We're not at that point yet. We're not even close. We're not looking for the peace to end all wars. That's not something likely to happen within our lifetime. We can strive for it, but peace is only won through war.
You didn't see him. You didn't see him.
I'm not sure that I need to.
Robin, you know that you don't need to. Because whatever he is, you'll put an arrow in his forehead if necessary.
Look, whatever it is you saw, whatever they said, I'm sure it hasn't changed the nature of our plan. We need to go in there.
Yeah.
We need to kill Kargoth. And then we need to push forward and kill the rest of the Red Wizards.
No,
And when there's an arrow in every single one of their corpses, then we can talk about what comes after.
So,
I look at my.
I
look at.
Alex, it's like yeah, it's always. At least that's what I'm here for. I don't know what you guys are here for.
I look at the. I look at my shoulder at the arrow that I. At the wound from the arrow that I stabbed into it. And I look at Robin. And I look away. And I say, I don't know if that the plan is going to work. If we pull him into the Astral Sea, we might be able to get all of us there. But any plan I could think of that would get us back won't work. Once we're there.
Did you not say you had a bag of holding as well?
Yeah, I do. I could, if we went as a group, I don't think we would be able to reliably, make it together. We would just be tossed about. We would be, scattered. We could.
Was not the entire point that the reaction of the two items would drag everyone into the astral plane?
Yeah. Yes, it will. But what I heard from Larlock, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ben, there were several related questions, so I may be misinterpreting some of that information. What I took from it is that everyone within 10 feet gets sucked into the astral plane, but each of us would kind of be tossed to a random different location.
Yes, that's what you should expect, is pure randomness in that scenario.
Yeah. So, unless it's just me and Kargoth, I wouldn't be able to save any of you. I wouldn't be in harm's way. It's very unlikely with the infinite scope of the multiverse that the both of us would end up anywhere near one another. But so I could get back, but he would not be out of commission long if the wizard allies were to go and look for him. So unless one of you has a way of, or can think of a way to prevent them from contacting him.
What if we, instead of eliminating him, eliminate his forces? We do the plan. You take him somewhere into the astral sea, and you return. You said you had a way of returning.
Yeah.
He'll return eventually, sure, but...
Yeah, we
when
don't-
he returns, what is left of the Dread Legion? Without their commander to rally them, surely they're nothing but a
It
few
should be-
sacks of meat.
It should be significantly easier to take care of the rest of them if Kargoth isn't honest.
There's reason in that. I can see
When we
I
went
can
in,
see
it,
that.
it felt like Kargoth was like half the fight by himself. Is how it felt.
In that case, maybe that is the path we should take.
I don't know. My only other idea is that we can just keep hitting and running. You know, we can go along that side route that y'all wanted to try, or something.
I feel like we have an entry point, and I feel like that their forces are weakened there.
Torgo.
And
Torgo, you said you need a bit of a rest. Do you think that with that rest, you would be capable of fending off the Dread Legion? All those Tanaruks, Blackguards? Do you all feel like you would be able to withstand them, even in the absence of Kargoth?
Should they not replenish their spellcasters?
leave that one to me.
I am confident that I can deal with that paltry sum of demons.
Sure, then. Alright. Yeah, let's spend some time, take a rest. And, I'll see if I can get him out of the picture.
Another thing that will need to be clarified if we're doing a plan like this is who will have the gate key.
We have multiple white gate keys as far as I know, and they can be synchronized.
Oh, we did copy them over. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, the white gate keys aren't so much the issue. The black gate key, we only have one. But I don't think getting in is as much of an issue. I think... Well, my vote is that we catch our breath and,
I might be the only one who can use the black gate key anyway.
I guess none of you have ever tried it. I think we should take a brief repose, and look at me, I'm fishing for synonyms, really am.
Just say you want a fucking short rest or a long rest.
I wish
It's
to
still
take.
roleplay. It's still roleplay.
I wish to take a transient breather.
Oh my god.
A fast break.
Alright,
Yes.
that's gonna be an hour and 47 minutes in that case. I'm gonna devise a specific round of dice we roll for a transient breather. You fuckers.
Yes.
Okay,
Ariane
so
Okay.
doesn't have the patience for any of this. She's
demands a short rest. Very fair.
she's pretty pissed and just, I mean, she wants a long rest, but if we have to compliment her a short one, whatever.
I mean, you still have your channel
Oh.
divinities, right? Is it 3 of them yet, or still 2?
Yeah, I haven't spent channel divinity because Path of the Grave almost never comes into play with.
No, I'm just saying that's 3 5th level spell slots you've got right there.
True that.
What?
With Harness Divine Power.
What?
It's an optional feature from Tasha's, which means you can use your channel divinity as a bonus action to regain a single spell slot up to a level of your proficiency bonus. You can use it a limited number of times per day, but I think that limit isn't relevant as of the amount you would be doing it at this level.
Because I only have 3 channel. Okay, that's amazing because, yeah, with this party, my channel divinity has been semi-useless because, like, the combats go by too fast to be able to set up anything.
If we're going to do this, we need to talk about how we need to immobilize him. We need to
Yeah.
draw him close
Okay.
enough that we can act before we get jumped.
Well, I just
We need
felt,
to.
honestly, I feel like Kargoth would totally rush me out of rage if I just, go out there and taunt his ass because, we're heretics to each other. I mean, it we feel each other, like we're to each other to death, that kind of thing. So, just I don't think it's too hard to get him out. Just have to figure out how to deal with him.
I don't feel like we're dismissing the plan of saying we want to offer a trade with Alex, right? We go in there, we offer the trade as previously discussed, and
But
so
what
to
if I
send
I don't think he's friendly enough to consider a trade.
I don't think he will instantly jump on us when we walk in there if we walk in there with Alex having us when we can't back your hands. That's kind of out of the question.
Right. That's the only kink in the plan that I'm seeing is I need to not be bound. I need to be able to put the.
What if we just initiate combat? He's going to rush us anyways, right?
Yeah.
And if you take a few Tanaruks to the Astral Sea, I don't see an issue with that at all.
Oop, my bad. Yeah, but if I'm trying to shove a bag of holding up his shirt, like,
why are you?
He might resist me.
Do you need your bag of holding? Do you need your portable hold?
I see what you're saying. No, I do see what you're saying.
I mean, it's. I understand the issue. It's been useful in the past, and it's not something that we throw away lightly.
Right.
But unless
I do also have a bag of holding.
I would much rather leave the portable hole somewhere safe and use 2 bags of holding. I will say that. Though I don't want to speak for your belongings by any means.
Look, bags of holding are replenishable. We could see if we manage to carry this through. We return to the surface and try to acquire another bag of holding.
Would you be okay with that, Thorgil?
I wonder if there's somewhere here I can store my things I have.
Some in the portable hole, right?
Yeah, I'll trade you for the time being. You can store your stuff there. We'll leave the portable hole here in the Parum-Sis, here somewhere safe, with our other belongings, or in the gatehouse. If we need to go back there, it shouldn't be too hard. We can use the black gate key, hop into the gatehouse, leave your belongings in a chest.
I am not knowledgeable about what it is you carry. Does it work the same as a bag of holding, where I would be able to retrieve my items afterwards?
Oh no! If we go through with this plan, anything in your bag of holding, you can assume that it's toast.
No. I mean, if I put it into your portable hole.
Right. I wouldn't be bringing the portable hole in with Kargoth. I would be leaving it somewhere else.
Yes, but I'm saying once we get out of the deal with Kargoth, could I retrieve my items from the portable hole?
Yes. Yeah, it's like a bigger bag of holding. It's like a pit of holding.
What if we just give Thorgil the portable hole, and you take the bags of holding, you put items in the portable hole, and then Thorgil has them on hand. We don't need to worry about you having to drag it into the Astral Sea.
I am loath to give up a bag of holding, or a portable hold, but in this situation, Thorgil having easy access to the items in his bag of holding might be more important. I mean, portable hole isn't exactly common, but I can sacrifice it if need be.
Do you need any specific items from your bag of holding right during this next upcoming fight, Thorgil? Like, is there anything that's in there where you're like, I will need this fight, or I would like to have access to it this fight?
I do keep a few extra potions in there. I suppose I can take a couple of those out.
You could just slum it like the rest of us and carry them on your person.
I will take out 2 potions from my bag of holding and replace the empty slots on my belt from the last fight. Superior, not superior. Other than that, I don't suppose I have anything else.
If we're down to run with this, I say we...
Oh, I do have one more thing actually, and I will take out a small yellow gem, which is the same as the one he crushed in the last combat. This is my only other gem of this sort. I would loathe to use it, but should the need arise.
Right. So, okay. In that case, if there's anything else that you don't need, but that you have inside the bag of holding, why don't we we can head back to the gatehouse after our short rest, or we can take it there. You can stash anything you need in a foot locker. And I guess this is the plan. We try to toss Kargoth into the astral sea.
Yeah. Oh.
I guess. God, this is
This
is silly.
Like, place in hand, like, look, and I'm so tired.
For your benefit, Alex, I have 170 pounds of items in my bag.
Wow. Maybe we just put him in the portable hole and then I leave that at the.
I'm saying we give Thorgil the portable hole whilst
Oh,
he's
yeah.
gone.
That's fine. I mean, it's much harder to get the stuff out, but
I was
yes,
just letting you know in case that put you over your portable hole limit. I have no idea what that is, or if there is one.
if it can fit in a 10-foot deep, 6-foot diameter pit, it has no weight limit.
I don't think I have anything that would not fit in.
All right. Yes. We'll. I'll throw down the portable hole, and we can transfer the items over. I assume we're taking a short rest. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I believe it was a... oh God, what was it you said?
A transient.
Oh, a transient breather. Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
quick transient breather. Yeah, probably for the best.
Some items that you would notice Thorgil transferring would be numerous other weapons of multiple varieties, a ring with a ruby inside of it, a few more potions, a large bag that is sealed at the top, typical stuff like bedrolls, crowbars, rope, 10 logs of wood.
Okay.
What?
I love the idea that you just open the bag of holding upside down and logs start pouring out
Yeah.
into the hole.
A spare shield, smithing tools, wood carving tools.
I love the idea that
That's
some
why-
like the
that's why I
smith's
wouldn't
tongs
do
are still
that.
red. They're like hot red, fresh from the forge.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben and I had a discussion about heat and portable holes.
And a 10-foot pole.
Of course. Oh, no, don't let that go in. I tried to catch it. You're gonna need that. Never go into a dungeon without a 10-foot pole, you fool.
I am a 10-foot pole.
I am a 10-foot pole.
I was
Okay.
I kind of perk up for a sec, and then I realized what I heard.
Do you want that?
I mean,
You know,
Robin,
that was
you did-
entirely innocent. I was just thinking because I'm 7.5 feet tall, but sure.
I'm not. It's not that I want that. It's that if there's, that sometimes you want. Sometimes you want to go and take a stroll up on the hilltop. Sometimes you want to climb a mountain. I don't know.
No, I get what you mean, but 10 feet?
Yeah, why not?
Put yourself at a distance where there's nothing personal anymore.
It doesn't need it to be personal.
It might as well be phone sex at that point.
It's utilitarian. I'm not having this conversation with you, Robin. I almost said I slide down the 10 feet. Never mind. In my headcanon, it's
Okay,
like a fireman's pole.
Guys, she's checked out and she's just praying now.
I am red in the face. Somehow, in spite of the trauma of this encounter with Larlock, I am just like... I am blushing, and every so often my eyes flicker towards Thorgil's nethers. Anyway, so are we taking a short rest?
Vlad the Impaler called. He wants Thorgil's number.
Ew! Yes, he sure do.
Did I actually call a break, or did I just wander off to get food? I can't even remember.
I didn't hear it.
I think you just left.
Okay.
I think you just left.
Alright, so we'll call that a short rest. Good job, guys.
Cool.
That's amazing.
Alright,
The
we
entire
take a short rest.
was spent. Marianne was praying for y'all. She's trying to pray the gay away, and it's not working.
Tends not to work.
I don't know what happened. That was like some ADD moment. I don't like. Normally, I can trace my thoughts back and go like, okay, here's where the session went. But nope. I think I got hungry. I think I muted myself, and I think I stood up and
Walked away.
Yeah.
That's why you were muted.
I could have. If I had. If I had to testify before God, I would have probably said, no, I called a 15-minute break. But in retrospect, I think I actually just walked up and just stood up and walked away.
You know, that's a shame, Ben, because you missed the moment where we might have canonized that Thorgil has a 10-foot penis.
Yes.
So sorry about that.
Yes.
10 feet.
I was accosted for having a 10-foot pole in my bag of holding and not carrying it with me. And myself being innocent, I was like, "Oh, I'm 7.5 feet tall. I am a 10-foot pole."
Yep.
And then
I thought he
goes,
said you have
"You're
a
a 10-foot pole."
Is it prehensile?
I like to think that it's like the character art is totally like realistic, but then the zipper comes undone and it's just like an elephant trunk like slams out, cracks the stone underfoot.
Also,
Yeah.
I did not think I was going to be able to get fully healed with my hit dice, but I did.
Well, you did. And that cod piece of holding is replaced in its proper location.
That's tremendous. So.
It sure is.
Jesus Christ.
And that's why Marianne has just been praying for the whole hour.
She's been praying for the image of Thorgil's genitalia to leave her mind forever.
Yeah, I know. She only has eyes for Bane. She doesn't want to think about anybody else.
Bane, listen. Speaking truth, like honest truth. Bane has got to have a teeny tiny little penis.
He's got one of those little cocks that just stays hard, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like that's the god of tyranny. You must.
Right. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Not 24/7. I'm sorry. Anyway, we're back from the short rest, gang. We've completed that section of our adventure. Have we come to any conclusions? Have we come to any plans? As we restore our hit dice here, you of course understand that your enemies will have done the same.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, this is perfect. Ben doesn't know our plan. We just go in and execute.
Yeah, we have the greatest plan in the world.
Ben, you get to be surprised in your own campaign for once.
That's good. I have no idea how to facilitate your activities here.
The surface level of the plan is we've taken a short rest, and we are going back in for a frontal assault.
All right.
Going, hit hard and hit fast. Surprise
Hard
him,
and hit fast.
and catch him with his pants down. So that we
Oh god. I've set a precedent.
Run. Now it's gonna be like all of our real life. Our living things.
I mean, you can do anything with magic. They
Oh,
make,
God,
they make
okay.
a potion for that. I promise you.
I
So-
have no doubt. I think Lori's brewed several. She knows how to make the money.
So,
Oh,
as the party
Personal
considers Kargoth as an entity, as you consider the ritual in front of you, as you consider the possibility of recovering your friends and keeping alive the companions you currently travel with, what next, gang?
Right, so we just go in there and piss off our good old friend Kargoth, right?
I guess, yeah, because I don't have any ideas.
Alrighty then.
Everyone's just been running on a prayer ever since we got separated from Brawl and has no idea what to do now.
Might I suggest that we watch where we step this time?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's
Are
a
you
fun.
offering to step first into the extra dimensional plane?
I actually I pull a scroll out from during the short rest. I'll have ruffled around some things and pulled out a scroll. I took this from a Red Wizards many moons ago. I think it was actually on the Moonshays. I'm not partial on principle to necromancy specifically when it comes to the animation of undead. But in this
Right.
situation, it might be something I could give a pass. I could
Yeah,
summon
I was
an
thinking
undead
the
spirit.
same thing. Like, I kind of, like, I have the ability to create undead, not that I like necromancy, but it's a possibility. But I would have to rest usually.
Well, I don't have to create any new undead. I can summon an undead spirit. In particular, I might be able to conjure essentially a facsimile of a zombie, and have it take the lead. If there are any new glyphs that have been established during the rest, it'll be the first to take the brunt. And if there's a trap, I mean, having a meat shield in the way wouldn't hurt.
Large, absurd totem
This is the spell scroll I have. I'll show you. That's a big ugly stat block in roll 20.
Yeah, Jesus.
Gang, I've got
Prismatic wall.
Yeah, there you go.
The prismatic bulb and such. That did like psychic damage to us because that was so insane.
It's a scroll I'm never going to use otherwise. So if we're
Yeah.
going in, I think this time we should probably take the opportunity to cast our, to prepare ourselves, use any abilities we need to use, ward ourselves before we even open the portal.
Well,
Alexander Kryl hates very much the way he feels about those words coming from your mouth.
I'm that person. I mean, like, you know, kind of.
I don't want to sexualize my oppressor. Okay, I'm going to cast. I'm going to cast myself a mirror image from a scroll. Burn a scroll. That lasts what, a minute? Right before we go in, I will be throwing up a mirror image.
Right before we go in, I will be getting big.
Ooh.
Wait, can I
Uh-oh.
fit through the door getting big?
Would you like to
Yeah,
rephrase that?
Is it a 10-foot tall door? And once you're big, does that double in all dimensions? You're gonna have a battering ram just fucking crush all of them.
That means that the volume has increased more than double.
Oh boy, alright. We're gaping. Okay, I'm gonna cast
Can I
mirror
fit
image.
through the door after using my Giant's Might feature?
There we go.
Oh,
I'm gonna can I ask a question?
By all means.
Did we ever roll to see if Kargoth failed 2 more of those checks against whatever STI?
He did roll it. I
Marianne.
saw him roll it.
He did, and
So-
he did.
Oh, it's a virgin. It can't be sexual.
It's too late. We're too far gone. Okay, so he succeeded, I'm assuming.
No, he failed.
He failed.
I
Oh, you have
thought
to fail
like,
3.
sub 15s. Didn't he fail 1 whilst we were in there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he did. Oh, so he has a disease, potentially.
Yeah, he's got syphilis. Don't bring your.
Oh, what a
temper.
bummer. You know what? These days, super easy. Weak on penicillin, you'll be fine. Penicillian. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the party journal. I'm gonna put it in the party. I know. I'm on one. Okay, mirror image. The invisibility. Are there any? I'm gonna burn us. No, I shouldn't bring out the manifest mind until I'm back from the astral sea. That feels like it would just go away. Or my connection.
What
will be
disease did Marianne try and do? I completely forget.
It's the one. It's low.
There was one that gives vulnerability to all damage, or there's one that's strength.
I thought if I fucked up his strength, that one of y'all could just like body him, you know? One of y'all melees, I don't know.
I
think it was-
attack rolls, I think, right? So he's got permanent disadvantage.
Okay.
If I'm remembering correctly.
Well, hopefully that won't be an issue for us. Hopefully we can just get him out of the fight. Actions.
Strength rolls that use, or attack rolls that use.
Okay, I'll make sure that our telepathic bond was reestablished during our rest. And I suppose that's kinda it. Alright. Mirror image, see invisibility, and thoughts and prayers. I will summon undead. I will summon a putrid. So a zombie, essentially. Summon a zombified spirit to appear before us. And then right after that, I'll throw up the mirror image, and it'll be time to go through the gate.
Yeah.
Can a summoned spirit use a white gate key?
It certainly cannot.
Yeah.
Okay.
It needs
Well.
attunement to that property.
In which case, who's taking it? I guess it isn't super useful in that case.
Could I not just stand 10 feet next to the door?
Certainly.
I don't.
Yeah.
And then have your undead spirit walk through?
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Kind of like, is there a zombie token I'm able to throw out?
Yeah, the undead spirit, level 3 spell effect. I think I have that.
I mean, let's be real. If they've reset the glyphs boarding, he's not going to live to see another round.
I know, but we might be far enough out that. Yeah, that's fair.
Very fair. Any final preparations as the party takes their short rest and presses back into the gauntlet here?
If Marianne wouldn't mind topping us off, I mean, I've got 113 hit points.
Oh yeah, there's that too. Okay, just a second. But I'm just doing all of the things.
I mean, I'm all topped up, and I think Thorgil is too, so just... We haven't rolled for Riker. Is he not going at all today, or going?
I think he's gone. Yeah, he can't come.
Absent to that.
No, he's good.
I will go ahead and roll some hit dice for Riker.
Sweet.
Seeing
assuming his roll 20.
I'm just gonna spend like literally all of my.
He should go
His-
back at the ball.
Assuming his roll 20 is accurate, he is at 81 of 172.
That feels like too much. Was he really that healthy still?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he got some healing at some point.
Yeah, I think I
He
remember
laid
that
on
he
hands
was,
for, like, a
almost
month
had
for
his
himself.
shield or something. I don't know. I don't take notes anymore.
I'm just gonna hope that his roll 20 is accurate. Because I have no idea where he would be.
Alright.
I know he uses it, not D&D Beyond usually. Certainly not last week. Check his... He sent me his D&D Beyond page. Let me take a look just to be sure. On D&D Beyond, he had 49. What? That is not his character sheet. He is not a druid. Oh, that was his other character sheet that he sent. Introductions. There he is. On D&D Beyond, he has 74 out of 172 hit points. So either way, pretty much the same kind of same vibe. Oopsies.
Very good. In that case, as the party manages to take their short rest here, as you take an hour and 10 minutes or so in order to conduct the restoration of your resources, pressing back inside, we'll assume that everyone's at full HP, everyone has restored their short rest resources as well. And as you can press your way back through the white mist separating you from the remainders of the Dread Legion, we'll go ahead and pick back up there next week.
Sweet.
Alrighty. I didn't even need to start packing during the session then.
What are you packing for?
Work.
Oh.
Mm.
It's like, where are you going? Are you going on a trip?
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank God. Thank God I don't need to look through Paladin's abilities to see what recharges on a short rest.
Nope, no need.
Channel Divinity, nothing else.
Oh, okay, knowledge.
Unless there's subclass specific things, I'm not up to date on that. But
Yeah, good job, guys. The party has their approach. You have an appreciation of the resources that will be differentiated between yourself and the Dread Legion as you press your way back inside. And next week, we'll pick back up with everyone ready for our second shot at that scrap.
Sweet. Sounds good. Thanks, y'all. I'll see you. I think next week is still pretty good. I don't think I have anything coming up. I'll have to keep y'all posted. There's gonna be a dance, something, I think in August. So yeah, like a month and a half from now, I'm gonna have to take a Sunday off. Oh, never mind. Samita ends at 6. I'll be able to play that day. It's a little late.
Nice.
I would like to clarify, unless Alex objected, that I'm taking my pizza force back.
I already put him up my ass. Okay, I'm going. Bye.
bye.
Have a lovely night, everyone. I'll see y'all next week. Take care.
See ya.